I made a count. It says 588 doors, 6 sealed, and 2 enhanced sets in this room. And then on the
So these doors, of these doors right here, just where we can
two of
visually see.
them would have enhanced thresholds,
That's the 2 center doors.
so they would not be ADA. They would have a raised threshold.
These two here,
Those 2 in the center.
and then those would be sealed up.
Those are going to be sealed with the hardware unit.
Okay.
The rest are ADA.
And then there would be a seal over there, the two on the backside there.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, and then just one other follow-up to Commissioner Meyer. You mentioned in the different layers that you're doing, you mentioned that there was, my question was, you mentioned the Jiffy Wrap can't be exposed to UV light, correct?
That's correct. That's what's recommended by the manufacturer.
So the Schluter product that goes over it, so it has no problem with water, it's just UV light, doesn't it?
That's correct. That's why we put the stainless steel plate up over there. We had to do that. In fact, we were just going to use the Jiffy Wrap itself. We were concerned about the high pressure that was being used, to clean and maintain the deck. And so therefore, I think that adds a protection not only for the pressure of the water, but also for the UV rays. That's the best solution that we can come up.
Okay, and I'm familiar with the Red Guard as a waterproofing membrane. So what is the second waterproofing membrane that, in that process though? Is it the Ardex?
No, it's not the Ardex. In fact, it's a cementitious, it's called Thincrete, it's called. There's a particular product that I have a cut sheet for that I'm going to give to the building official to have a look at as well. What that is, it has a pigment that goes into the mix that creates it to be waterproof.
Okay, so that's the thin set building.
That's correct, that's the Thincrete.
Okay, thank you. Big boy?
Just a couple of things. The mayor stole part of my question, but that's okay. That some of the concern you mentioned, I think for the Jiffy material, that it has a 10-year warranty, but that it's going to be under several layers, including the porcelain tiles. So in terms of protection from the elements, it's in a pretty good place. So we can expect it's probably going to look like new when you dig it out 20 years later, is my guess.
You see, the compound of that as well on the Jiffy Wrap has a good ratio of expansion and contraction as well. And so not only is it a stick and feel kind of application that's going to adhere to the top and the bottom of the layers, it also can actually move as well. If the building's moving, that's going to move. It's got a real good ratio as far as that's concerned. And then also there's this area which of course is also suspect itself. If for instance it is punctured, apparently it's got a property that it seals itself. But I wouldn't imagine it's going to be a tear or whatever, but it's a case of if somebody decides to screw through the Jiffy Wrap itself, it has a way of self-sealing. So, that kind of property that it has, it's got some kind of, I think it's polyester or something like that in the mix as well. It makes it very flexible. And you would actually just check that product that I gave you.
Yeah.
You can see the flexibility. It's a real, it's a recommended waterproofing system to use.
There was a mention of the need for maintenance, and I think the analogy to you've got a yacht on the ocean, and everybody knows that yachts are a sink for money because you've got to maintain them. That would probably not apply that much to the deck layering because of the porcelain tiles and whatnot. Those are going to last, maybe cleaning algae or something, but basically they'll fine. What about the seals on the doors? Are those likely to need to be cycled through every so many, decade, 2 decades, I don't know?
What we found on these doors over here, there are a lot of positives. The negative, of course, in that the doors have been leaking. That's the big negative. But the fact of that is, a lot of the stuff that, be it the ASTI rules as well as the bottom thresholds and so forth, they have covered plates on them. So they're not really directly impacted by the sunlight and UV rays that make them deteriorate a lot quicker.
Right.
So that is a positive that we found with these particular ones.
If you would just grab a microphone from Sorry. Thank you.
And I'm specifically...
Hold on 1 second before we get to you. We're recording this. That's the only reason why. Just introduce yourself too. Thank you. Thank you.
When he spoke about maintenance, what he means is, as it pertains to the exterior decks, it's a weekly wash down process that you need to participate in that washes the tiles all the way into your new trough and scupper system that rinses through that trough so that any of the sands that are naturally deposited here are rinsed off on a weekly basis. Rinse them through the scuppers so that they'll discharge and clean that. And it is something that you're doing as often as weekly. Don't do it with a pressure cleaner at 1500. Do it at 700 psi so that it is a light rinse off. But you do develop a lot of salts and sands from our exposure. With regard to your doors, operable doors have weather strips and gasket in them that over life, those have to be maintained and replaced. So whatever it is we might do for your doors, there are life cycle times within the door systems themselves that you do look at replacing sealants, weather stripping, bulb gaskets, and those are pretty much the same requirement whether you did these modifications or not. Is that fair? And I'm not sure that we washed our deck down a whole lot in the old system. And the old deck system that you had held water. That's why you're getting that mineral-rich leachate dripping out of those scuppers, because it's water that's held weeks after the rain event up here in the mud bed where the pavers are, and then it just takes its time to eke out. With the remedy that we have now with the under-tile drainage system, it's unidirectional, so the water can flow in either direction within it, and it's intended to get into the trough. So you're getting the water off the tile quicker, you're getting the water off the underlayment quicker, you're depositing it into the trough water discharges through the scupper. So those scuppers are active for us during the rain event for sure, and for the hour or two plus or minus after. But then that water's through. It is possible within the trough itself that you could have a few areas that held water. That's water that's going to evaporate as it sits there. If it were going to drain out, it would pitch to drain out. So it is our understanding and belief that through these modifications that the rainwater is actually getting off the deck, and then that scupper discharge is not going to be the same problem that it has been for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just, I guess, a clarification or an addition to that issue of mineral content in the drainage water and causing staining and so on. With this system, there's no way for water to have contact with any of the cement minerals. The only minerals that you could have a problem is, as you mentioned, is salt spray. Obviously, if there's salt spray on the deck, that's going to be in there. But other than that, this is a very clean system, so your water should be pretty clean coming
I
off.
think you should probably stay over by there.
It is a very clean system. However, anytime you have tile that has grout joints between it, over time there's water that can migrate through that. So there is a mutual contribution that we have with that, and we're having ongoing discussions with the thin set manufacturer to make sure that we have the most robust thin set so that we don't develop those mineral and leachate deposits as readily.
Vice Mayor?
Thank you. Thank everybody for their good questions so far. Hope I don't lower the bar too much, my question. But I would like to speak a little bit to Commissioner Amoroso's comment and echo his what I believe are his concerns. But the point of having this meeting here this evening was to really go out and have an active, interactive participation of what's going on out there. And, what we're getting here tonight is a presentation on a PowerPoint that we could have clearly done at City Hall. And I'm just for the record, a little disappointed that we're not able to go out and look and see and touch, to see what's going on. Number two, I've heard in terms of kickoff meeting and construction kickoff, and also something about for approval this evening. I want to remind everybody that we're not going to be able to make a decision or any approval this evening because this is in fact a workshop. So we hope that you're expectations are not raised based on our participation in this meeting this evening. But I would like to speak to what everybody's been talking to. If you go to slide number 4, please. Actually, page 4, I guess, is not handout. It's your section diagram. While you're looking for that, I'll preface my comments by saying I'm not an engineer or contractor, but I did dress up like one for Halloween, and it was quite scary, so I apologize for my questions in advance. But as I look at this diagram, I think what you're trying to portray here is a number of products and or compounds or whatever that are actually being layered on top of each other. Is that correct? And I wish that that diagram would be a little bit different, almost like a slice, so we can see, you know, what order they go in. I think that's supposed to portray the order in subdivision. Okay, well, just bear with me, because my curiosity has been piqued here this evening. First of all, is this a custom solution to a problem? That's the question I want to ask. What is the solution in presenting tonight? Is this a custom solution to a problem?
This over here, you know, we've spoken to our consultants as well as to our experts, and this over here is nothing new. This is what generally gets done in the field. It gets done this way around swimming pools and items like that, when you get volumes of water and decks that traverse from, you know, a deck to the swimming pool and so on. So it's not an unusual, so it's not a custom item.
Okay, and thank you for your explanation, because that leads into my next couple of questions. You know, again, my comment about the engineer, I'm not hearing very well. My comment about the engineer is, you know, in my mind's eye, if you're looking to displace water, have water go someplace where it needs to go, you create the appropriate slope. And if you've got a concrete slab to start with, and that slope is appropriate, then it's just a matter of, you know, how are you going to finish the concrete? Are you going to put tile on it, or what are you going to do? And my question is, if this is not a custom solution, why wasn't it applied initially? That's my first question.
As far as what you asked.
Microphone, please. Thank you.
As far as what you asked on the structural deck, and that's a good question, thank you. Your structural deck out there, from what we know, is pretty much flat. So the thin set material that is called Thincrete in this application is what's giving us the slope to that trench. That's answer one. As to why that wasn't done originally or wasn't incorporated into the original, I would need to ask one of you.
It wasn't built for the plants.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
It wasn't built for the plants, so there are portions of the deck that are flat. That's what was discovered in all the investigation, and this is the best way of making a correction to that situation.
All right, so the comment is that portions of the balcony or the walkway around this complex were constructed in a flat manner. Are you suggesting that others were constructed in a proper manner?
We haven't dug out the entire deck, Mr. We would have to remove the entire deck to see if other portions were built correctly or not. But what's been discovered to date, what we found, has been that portions of it have not been pitched for the structural unit.
Now, my other question would be is, as the construction was unfolding and inspections were taking place and follow-up was being put in play as to whether things were being built to spec, why was the flat surface not identified before the building was
Vice Mayor, Well, without the REG working properly to fix this issue, there is obviously some dispute between the two entities as to whether or not it's both a design issue or a construction issue. We have been working for years to develop this remedial plan. I don't have if we were tasked to come up with a finger pointing exercise between REG and Rogati, we're not here to do that today. But ultimately, what we have is a deck outside that has been redesigned and constructed to.
This isn't a matter of finger pointing, this is a matter of me connecting the dots and coming up with a logical conclusion here, and that is, if you're telling me that the process you're presenting tonight is a standard process that we use in swimming pools, etc., then why was this process not identified when we originally brought the issue to your attention?
After construction, sir?
After construction, when we realized the building was flooding, why was this not one of the first solutions that you reached for? If this is a standard, what I'm hearing, I'm using my words, not yours, but a standard in the construction industry in dealing with wet water surfaces, swimming pools, etc.
It's really two issues, sir. And the first issue that we were initially tasked with, and which manifested itself, was water getting into the units. We don't believe that that is an issue with slope necessarily. That was an issue with thresholds. And that issue was debated at length between the city, Rogati, and REG, and the door company. The city obviously wanted all doors to be operable low threshold doors, and that was what REG was tasked to do along with our sides. That is physically impossible.
Would you repeat that, please?
The city's, I'm not sure if during construction or during the design phase.
Yes, and you were here too. The city wanted to completely ADA accessible at all locations, which.
I'm sorry, Tom, I can't hear you, so the voice is.
So the city instructed the team, the design build team, to make everything, Mr. Morrison is here too, to make everything ADA accessible, all the doors ADA accessible. And so the thresholds at these ADA doors, your experts, simply cannot withstand the hurricane situations, and that's why you're getting the infiltration of water into the ballroom on the east side of the building.
And then my question to you would be, whoever was responsible for putting the doors into the plans, if they knew that those thresholds would not be hurricane resistant or whatever the case may be, why were we not advised in the same way so we can prevent this from happening?
Well, this is 2016, almost the end of 2016, and this project started back in 2010. And there's been many, many people involved in the design and decisions from the city, from the general contractor, from the architect, the engineers, the door manufacturers, even the door consultants that work directly for the city. So it's a pretty lengthy discussion, and I don't have the answers for you that you're probably looking for tonight, and I'm just trying to tell you as honestly as I can, and that's where we're at today.
So whose decision was it to use these doors?
I think that right now we're looking at we've had these conversations. Hold on. Point of order, please. Point of order, please. I have the floor. Thank you. Please. Right here, this workshop is to discuss exactly what the solution, the so-called solution, is going to be for this and how we move forward from this point. We've had numerous attempts to have conversations with them and express our interest and questions as to why this happened and how we got where we are, but we are here to get
I'm trying to understand the solution that you're proposing and how it relates to what we had to begin with.
I know, we've gone back in history so many times, but please continue on in reference to what the solutions
So
are.
how many ADA doors are we going to have when this is all done, based on your proposal tonight?
Mr. Vice Mayor, I wonder if I could just take a little step back and try and answer the question from another standpoint.
Microphone, please, yeah. You guys have to speak directly to the microphone. This is a weird echoey room.
The slopes originally, this is now going around the building, when we say it was a programmatical situation that we were in, and I don't want to use the term that we were in a bind, but it was requested that we have tables and chairs be put outside of it. That not only were they supposed to be ADA, but they were also supposed to have tables and chairs that did not rock at a maximum slope. What we would have had originally is something like slope. With a table and chair with glasses on them and an ADA outside, it was reduced to 2%. With the result is that the water that came off the roof and onto the deck did not shed off as fast as what it should have. And so that was also a programmatic thing. Hindsight being 2020, we could have most probably spoken up at that particular time and said, you know what, we actually need more of a slope. Now what happened over there is by us taking these pavers off, that is 1.5 inch thick pavers, we are now creating more of a slope to get the rain water discharged off the balcony. That not only helps the doors, but also with all the accoutrements that we put on the doors as well is going to be helping those doors, including the threshold. So that's how we overcame a problem of a programmatic problem that we had not imposed on us, but given to us by the city, that was their requirement.
Well, I thank you for that. I guess my point is, same as I said a moment ago, and as paid professionals, we would have expected, because elected officials, city staff, city administration are not construction people, we're not architects, and we should have been advised that the design we were asking for, the components that we were asking for were unrealistic or impractical.
Sir, it's also important to note that we had notice of acceptance of the doors and thresholds, and we're dealing with a system that was very challenging to begin with, and we believe that the literature from manufacturers would have work with you. So it's not a simple issue of saying we're going to be messed up or RNG messed up. It's an issue of it just didn't work in the field, and from then we decided how to fix it, and that's where we started this process about 3 years ago. And there's a lot of give and take as to do we do a higher threshold door and more operable, do we do a modified threshold, which is where we got to today.
So at the end of the day, let me go back to my question. How many ADA doors are we going to have?
I would, based on the drawing here, I think I've seen 5 ADA doors.
Five in this building.
In the ballroom and 2 sets in the retail space.
2 in the north building, 5 in this building.
Glenn, did you have something you wanted to add?
Only that this is a step in the process, and so tonight's step is to look at potential solutions to see if you're comfortable with that. The next step is probably going to be going back to mediation to resolve financially some of the issues that Vice Mayor is bringing up. Whether or not the design was flawed, whether or not the construction was flawed, whether or not the city's direction was flawed, that's something that I believe is going to get worked out in a mediation process if the solution comes together, because there's a financial component that we're not prepared to talk about tonight. I don't think it's on the agenda for tonight.
And also, Mr. Vice Mayor, we have lights set up at the mock-up. You're happy to go out there. We'll keep people on the site to answer any questions you have.
I would suggest we take a recess after we get our questions so that we can go out there.
Okay. Also, I have a couple quick.
Is it just lights on?
Madam Mayor, I have a few questions.
Yes, go ahead.
As far as the gutters and the scuppers to the ground, are we still going to have water just dumping out into the street?
Mr. Vice Mayor, that over there was part of the original design that was approved with planning and zoning as a result of the historic content that we wanted to achieve on this building. We wanted an iconic building, and the picture that we used at that particular time to get what we had is we used that as an illustration. That was discussed from time immemorial, from day one, that's what we wanted. Everybody approved and agreed to that kind of look. And that's actually what we produced, an iconic building that you have today. And we have the scuppers. Now, had we have known, or had we had a redo as far as another design was concerned, I'm sure we could have come up with another design as far as downspouts and the like. But those scuppers we put in order to maintain the historic value of what the building ultimately looked like in that period of time of 1920s. And that's what we put in. So it's it's not a question that we would have liked to have done something else in hindsight. But if you have a look at what we've done, we have a building that is an iconic building, and that's what we're going to do.
Very well. The ballroom floor itself, I understand we had a lot of water damage, and what are we going to be doing about that? How are we going to deal with that situation? Have we had anybody get up under the floor to look and see if there's any actual damage to the wood floors, and if there's going to be any issues potentially with mold or mildew?
Yes, we did. At the particular time, what we did is we removed certain sections of the floor when it had flooded, and we also had it dried out with fans and so on for several weeks, and we also had a moisture test that we had with a recorder for something like 3 weeks on that underflooring. And that underflooring, after observing it, this is now with a scope camera, as well as what the actual moisture test came back, they were satisfied that these floors were not going to deform or warp, and that the slats themselves were not separated. And that was, add something to that, Jim, do you mind?
How long ago was it that you did that testing?
That was roughly about 2.5 years ago. That's when we did that. That's when we had the flood that came through over here that was pretty bad at that particular time. We have pictures and I'm going back at that particular time. And like I say, the other proof as well, Mr. Vice Mayor, and that is that we checked not only like the smell test, you can say, but we were checking the actual flooring themselves as far as deflection was concerned. And we did quite a number of tests on the deflection. And nothing was untoward as far as the floor manufacturer is concerned. And that's the reason why I think it's not a question, because I can remember at one stage you were expecting a clean bill of health. What do we do? We can only test that. And that's what we've come up with, and we felt that it's adequate. Now, there are certain strips down over there at one stage that I believe that could also still be contested to that degree. And, that's something that maybe we can relook at again. But to our understanding, the flooring underneath has passed all its prerequisites.
One more question, Madam. This is to the city attorney. Is this the appropriate meeting or workshop to discuss any other issues related to the casino building itself?
I don't know what your question would be, but it may be.
Well, in particular, I heard there was some discussion about maintenance, and as I was coming in today, I was disappointed to see that from a cleanliness standpoint, it's not very clean. Excuse me, Commissioner. I know I was about ready to snap in front, look around everybody here. But I was really disappointed to see the elevator floor. It looks like it's about ready to rust right through the bottom, over here on the south side of the building. And of course, the hardware throughout the complex is all rusted.